friends, we are back again with another Letting Disney Pick My TBR. I think it was Elizabeth who commented on my last video like this, saying next time I should have it be the movie. And you know what? That would make life so much easier. So I did find a Disney movie picker, and we're gonna use this to pick our TBR. If I've never seen the movie, I either can skip it, or if the colors are like really great and I have like a perfect book color wise, we'll do that. But otherwise, we're gonna pick our 3 books that we are gonna read in today's video. Let's generate our first movie. The Jungle Book 2. I've never seen it. I don't know that I've ever seen the Jungle Book 1, if I'm being honest with you. So this is not boding well. I don't think I have any books with bears on the cover. Or really anything that takes place in a jungle, if I'm being honest with you. So I think we're already going to have to skip it. But I think you guys would prefer me to skip something that I don't really know to have things make sense. Like, I don't want to be like things to be too much of a stretch. You know what I mean? So let us just try again, okay? Hopefully we get something better this time. Sleeping Beauty. Okay, I'm very familiar with Sleeping Beauty. She pricks her finger, she goes to sleep. She is the Disney princess with the lowest amount of screen time. She's out. The bad guy is coming to town. We've got the little fairies. It's a make it pink, make it blue, make it pink, make it blue situation. So what would be, do I have anything that's like pink and blue? Like that could be cute if I could find a book that is both pink and blue. I think that could be like a fun one, or pink, blue, and green, like the fairies. Sleeping Beauty is kind of boring to me. Maleficent is like a very misunderstood character, so maybe if we had a main character who's very misunderstood, that could work. Let me think. I have one idea. I'm not sure how well I think this would work, but we can check, you know. I think we're going to go with it. And it's also one of the colors. It is blue. I think we're going to go with Unsteady by Peyton Corinne, because I just read the back of this book a minute ago, and our main girl, her name is Sadie, and she's trying really hard to stay focused in school this semester, but she's drowning in a bunch of different things, and she kind of has this like bad reputation on campus. It's just a reputation for all the wrong reasons, which is kind of like Maleficent, because Maleficent, everybody thinks she's horrible, but then when you watch like the Angelina Jolie Maleficent movie, you learn that she's really just misunderstood and people are being horrible to her. So I think that that is kind of what I'm getting for our girl Sadie in this book, and I think that actually works out good. And I do like that it is blue, because that is part of the movie, is the like make it pink, make it blue. Let me know if you think that that's a good pick. Also, you can let me know that all my picks suck. Whatever works. And go. Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. That's a tricky one because it's a superhero movie. Superhero related. Space related. That's also an option. Do I have anything kind of like spacey or superhero-y? I fear that I'm sucking at this again. That it's just as hard. It feels like a stretch. Because my only thought is maybe this. Because there's a moon on it. Midnight is the darkest hour in Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe that's not that much of a stretch. Or anything with stars on the cover could work. Do I have anything that's already on my TBR that has stars? No. Okay. Here we go. We are going to go with Midnight is the darkest hour because there is a moon on it, which is giving galaxy. I think that's a pretty good connection, if you ask me. What is this about? I couldn't even begin to tell you. I just remember I got it on sale for $4 on Amazon. And I've loved one book by Ashley Winstead, the housewife or something about a woman. and I did not like the one with the scissors on it. My brain is not on planet Earth today. But anywho, a killer hunts a small southern town, and two outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. This is a fan for verity and a flicker in the dark. I gave both those books 4 stars. Midnight is the darkest hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and beauty surges that lie dormant within all of us, even the God-fearing folk of Bottom Springs, Louisiana. In her small town, librarian Ruth Coroner has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at the Holy Fire Baptist. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only thing the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the myths that hunt the area. Like the story of the Low Man, a vampire figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to a mysterious carved symbol, Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to comb the town's secrets. Underbelly in search of true evil. Okay, it's at least some range for this video, which we do love when videos have range. Okay, let's pick our third book. Our third little bookie poo. Lilo and Stitch. One thing about me is I hate Stitch. Okay, I think that's kind of a hot take for sure. But we can figure this out. We really can. So their parents died. It's a sister relationship between sisters. I feel like I'm a big fan of sister stories, so we should have some options here. And we have death, because I'm pretty sure like somebody dies in the beginning of this book or movie. I have not really truly watched it since I was a kid and I saw it in movie theaters and decided I didn't like it. It's also very blue, so there's that. Like the stitch is blue, the cover is blue and red. It's a story about family in general, like Ohana means family, so maybe like a good story about family. Let me think about, because I have like quite a few books here in my TBR that I think could really work for that like familial situation. I think I'm gonna go with this book. This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, because I'm literally dying to get a hold of this, and this is a book that has sadness in it, and it has family, and so I think the familial vibes are what we're looking for. You can think I'm completely wrong. I accept it, but this is what we were going with, and this is about Soledad. Her marriage has kind of blown up in smokes, and she doesn't really have time to grieve. She's trying to keep her life in order because she is a type A personality girly, relatable content. And then a single dad crosses her path and they hit it off, but she feels like she shouldn't pursue a relationship. So we will read this as our third book for this video. We are starting this video with This Could Be Us because the other 2 books in this video have the possibility of being a 3-star or less, and I feel like this just is going to be a 5-star. And one thing about this month is my reads have been bad. I don't have any 5 stars. We're halfway through the month. I read 20 books so far this month and nothing has really been great. So I think it'll be like nice to read something that I know is gonna hit hard, be amazing. So this is what we're going with next. Well, first, it's the first book in this video. Are literally in the hamper, but as predicted, Miss Kennedy Ryan is restoring my faith in books because this is going to be 5 stars. I already know it. It's so good. What does she put in these books? Because they're addictive. Like, I'm just obsessed with everything about this. So this is about Soledad, and she is a side character in the first book, which is Before I Let Go. Before I Let Go is Yasmin and Josiah's story, and then she has her two best friends, Hendrix and Soledad, and that's who the other two books are about. So this is Soledad's story. We see her in book 1 with her husband. He kind of sucks. He's always at work. She kind of feels like maybe he's cheating on her because he like is always with his assistant and like said her name in his sleep, all of this stuff. So we pop into her life, and things are still kind of not great with her husband. So he is having his work Christmas party, and they're getting ready. He's trying to dictate what she wears, saying basically she doesn't need to look like a slut, and she like is making comments about how like he doesn't ever want to have sex anymore, and he's like, you have like your vibrator in your side drawer if you're that horny, and she's like, it's earning its keep, baby, and I'm not going to be embarrassed about that. And then he basically alludes to the fact that he doesn't want to have sex with her because she's pushed 3 babies out of her vagina and it doesn't feel good anymore, and I literally want to straight up murder him. And then he grabs her arm so hard he leaves a bruise on her. So she says, fuck you, I'm wearing what dress I want. She wears the skimpier dress, whatever. They go to the party. He's lecturing her the whole way there to like not embarrass him, not to draw attention, don't do this, don't, like literally being an absolute scumlord. This man, oh, I hate him so much. At the party, this really hot guy starts talking to her. She doesn't really think much of it. She's like, yeah, like I'm so-and-so's wife, and he's like, oh, cool, whatever. She finds herself kind of walking into this room where she finds this boy who is introducing that guy who she met, like who like started talking to her. That is our male love interest. His name is Judah. He is divorced with a really great relationship with his ex-wife because they have autistic twins. And Kennedy Ryan has a note in the beginning of this. This is her first time writing about her own lived experience as a mother of an autistic child. And they are very low verbal, not non-verbal, but they don't say a lot of words. And so when Soledad's sitting with him, he's like playing with his Rubik's cubes. He hands one to her. She's like, hi, like, what's your name? And he tells her his name is Aaron, and she goes, hi Aaron, I'm Soledad, it's nice to meet you. He doesn't say anything else. Judah ends up coming in and is like, oh my god, da 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 da. They start talking, and then of course her shithead husband comes in. He's like, let's get out of here. And she's like, you know, bye Aaron. And Judah's like, he told you his name? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, he's very selective with who he will speak to. And she like smiles at him, and his dad's like, say bye to like Miss Barnes, and he's like, bye Soledad. Oh my god, it was so cute. And so her husband absolutely hates Judah. He says he's out to get him, blah 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 blah. A few days later, they literally get a knock on the door from the FBI. They're to arrest her husband because he's being investigated for embezzling $6 million. Judah is their accountant, and he's the one who basically discovered this and why he's been like, oh, he's after us. So her husband's straight up in jail. She's trying to figure out what to do about that situation, and they end up in like, I feel like that situation is very tricky, but because we know that Judah is the love interest, they're obviously not staying together. She doesn't immediately believe him, but when she gets a call from her doctor that she's positive for chlamydia, she's like, okay, he's obviously a liar and a cheater and a scammer, so she decides to cooperate with the FBI with anything that they need. And now we fast forward to about 9 months later, and she's trying really hard to like make money to support her family because obviously this money in their account was like seized because it was stolen. So she has like a limited nest egg left over to try to support her and her 3 daughters. Her middle daughter Inez is very angry about the situation. She is a daddy's girl, and she is in extreme denial that her dad did anything. The other 2 are really just trying to support their mom. She's trying to do social media as a career with doing different like food type stuff and home stuff, skincare, that type of stuff, like a lifestyle person. And she just set up this like event at a market where it was like a dinner with Soledad, where she did like this 4-course meal because this salad dressing recipe she had went viral. I wonder if that's one of the recipes. I remember I said there was recipes. Picadillo. Picadillo makes me think of Piccadilly Square. Anywho, but I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Like, I can't believe I'm already halfway done. Like, I never want it to end. And this is my third book by Kennedy Ryan. I read Before I Let Go, and I've read Real. Real I gave 4 stars. Then I gave Before I Let Go 5 stars, and this is going to be 5 stars, and the next one's probably going to be 5 stars. And I'm basically obsessed with her. Period. End of story. I want every single book she's ever written. She's just... Love you, Kennedy Ryan. And I will say, when I was reading Before I Let Go, I shared it on my story that I was simply crying through every chapter, and she replied to my story and was like, sorry girl. So we love her. We love her. But I'm gonna go finish this because I need to know what happens, truly. Alrighty guys, we have finished This Could Be Us, and I mean, obviously it's 5 stars. Getting to see Soledad's journey. So a big thing in this book is her going through this journey of wanting to like fall in love with herself and be so deeply in love with herself. She's going out to eat alone. She's going to events alone. She's doing all these things alone to prove to herself that she can. Because when she goes to visit her husband, Edward, in prison, ex-husband, he basically says that she's not going to be able to do anything without him, blah, 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 making it seem like he is her end-all, be-all. And she's like, no, I actually don't need you. And I'm gonna prove it. And that's basically what she is doing. But because of that, it's really hard for her to come to terms with her feelings for Judah, because she doesn't want to jump into a relationship. And so we see their friendship really build through months and months and months and months of courting and hanging out and really just being there for each other and building a beautiful foundation for them to then have this relationship. And it was just so good. One thing I love about Kennedy Ryan's books is her books feel real. They feel realistic. They're not hallmarky. They're not corny. It's like real life things that happen. People with baggage. Like, she's married with 3 daughters, divorced, all of these things going on. He is divorced with 2 children on the spectrum, and they're twins at varying degrees of on the autism spectrum. Like, they're going through real life things, and I feel like that makes it like just even better. But next up, we're gonna go with the book that I'm least, not like least hopeful, but we're going for the book that I have less faith in, because that has a bigger chance of letting me down. The other one is Unsteady, but for this one, my reason for saying that is because I have given Ashley Winstead 5 stars, and I've given Ashley Winstead 2 stars, and those are the only 2 books that I have read by her. So this has the opportunity of being a 5 star, but it also has the opportunity of being a 2 star or less. And I don't really know like what the verdict is on this, if people like or hate this book. Let's take a peek. Not very good reviews. A 3.4, which, you know. My girl Beth, who I love watching here on BookTube, gave it a 4, whereas Gabby Reeds gave it a 1, and Kayla gave it a 3. So we will see. I feel like it could go good, could go bad. We will find out together, you know? Okay guys, I made it to about 44% into this book, and I fear I have to DNF. I just do. I can't continue onward. This book is reminding me of Where the Crawdads Sing, which I gave 2 stars and hated, mixed with possible vampires, which, one thing about me, if you do not know, I hate vampires. I think they're stupid and corny, and I'm just not a fan. They're like my least favorite, like, creature. I just don't like them. So we have to DNF. But basically in this book, we've got our girl Ruth and the guy Everett, and basically they're best friends. Ruth is the preacher's daughter. Everett's dad is like a drunk. He's in with selling drugs, but they have this like unlikely friendship. However many years ago, like 18 years ago, they killed somebody who was trying to assault Ruth, covered up the murder, and now his skull has been found and it's being investigated. And I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't have another 2 or 1 star read this month. So we're just going to DNF it and move into Unsteady. Like, I just have to do what's best for me right now. And what's best for me is not finishing that book. because I'm at 44% and I can guarantee you as of right now this book is getting maximum 2 stars. And I just, if it was like short, sure, but this is like quite long. I still had like 7 or 8 hours left in the audiobook and I can't continue onward. So we're gonna move into Unsteady, which I have a feeling I will enjoy. Okay guys, we are about halfway through this book. I don't know why the audiobook for this is so long. It's like only a 350-page book, but the audiobook is like 13 hours long. But regardless, we're about halfway through and I'm really liking this. It's feeling like a 4. It's definitely not a 5. And I will say it's a lot spicier than I anticipated it being looking like this. But there has just been a plethora of oral scenes, simply, so far. But in this book, we've got our main guy, Reese, and our main girl, Sadie. Reese is a hockey player. He's in college, and he's already been kind of like drafted by an NHL team. However, he sustains an injury, and the team kind of rescinds their offer. And he's been going through therapy, trying to, like, physical therapy, mental therapy, all the things, to get back on the ice post-injury. However, he is having a really hard time and is really struggling with panic attacks in regards to hockey. So in the beginning, he is working as, he's like volunteering basically as a, what's the word? Special guest to like this kids, like this charity kind of kids hockey training thing where it's like for children who can't afford it. And so he goes where he ends up meeting these 2 young boys whose caregiver is late to pick them up. Their caregiver being Sadie, who is their older sister, who is basically raising them as though they have different mothers. Their moms have all kind of like abandoned them and left them with their alcoholic of a dad who is just constantly wanting money from Sadie. She's in school trying really hard to like graduate while figure skating, while working like 85 different jobs to make ends meet, to pay for her brother's stuff, to do this, to do that. She has the weight of the world on her. She also has this reputation of being being promiscuous, I guess, like sleeping around, because we learn, is just trying to literally like mask her feelings with sex. And so whenever she and Reese, they both show up at the arena, the ice rink, early in the morning one day, because she works for concessions and her like condition to work there was she would get a key so that she could get some extra rink time on the DL in the mornings. So when they're both there and he's having a panic attack on the ice, she calms him down, and they've now built this unlikely friendship where he is really leaning on her in her times of need. However, she is having a hard time opening up to him about everything she's dealing with. So it's kind of where we're at so far, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot, like I said, it's deeper than I expected it to be. I find a lot of the times college romances are very surface level. So I'm having a very good time, and I'm excited to finish this one up. And then if we can have a 5-star and a 4-star in this video, I feel like that makes up for the DNF. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I think this is a pretty cute, sweet story. I love her story with her brothers, and seeing her care for them is so, so, so sweet. But also being able to see her side where she's like with her friends and trying to be normal is also really good. I'm enjoying it. Let's continue. Just like that, we are done, and I did give this 4 stars. I really loved getting to see Reese and Sadie's story and how they were able to work together and help each other through all of their different hardships that they were going through, using the different tips and tricks that they learned. There was this one particular part because Reese has been kind of hiding his panic attacks from his dad, who was a professional hockey player. His mom kind of knows something that's going on, but whenever he like goes to his dad to tell him how he's feeling, oh my god, it brought tears to my literal eyes. There was a point where I was toying with this being a 5-star, but the couple, they got like together a little bit too early for me, and so like the last like 20% of the book, I was like, okay, let's wrap her up, okay? But I will say, if you love Binding 13, Boys of Tama and Shannon and Johnny, I think you will absolutely love this book, because Sadie and Reese very much so give Johnny and Shannon, where he is this like athlete, like only child, rich family, and she comes from this broken home with a bunch of brothers who are being neglected, and she's trying to take care of them, and they kind of start taking care of them, like providing the support that she doesn't really have. Very much gave that vibe. So if that is something that you enjoy, I think you would really, really, really enjoy this book. I gave it 4 stars. I have book 2, which is about her best friend Ro, which I'm very excited to read. And then book 3 comes out in April, and it's about one of the antagonists in this. So I think that's very interesting. However, from Goodreads, the cover of that one is more so like this style of cover with the like couple on it, and I don't really know how I feel, seeing as the first 2 that I have are this style. So I hope maybe there's an option of the other one that's this style so they can all match, but I suppose we will see. But that is everything for this video, friends. I'm going to be editing this momentarily. I'm gonna go take a shower, and then I'm going to do some editing. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I think this will be a over the weekend video. I don't know, but I'll catch you next time. Bye.